So I had an unfortunate event happen over the weekend. Or I guess it wasn't the weekend. I guess it was like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And it was involving your dog.
Yeah, I asked for help. I don't like asking for help,
doesn't.
but I needed help.
So-
and then she obviously is always offering.
Always.
And she comes over. And you really took one for the team.
Well, no, it actually wasn't bad. It could have been so much worse.
Just the image.
Uh-huh. Okay, so she has her new puppy, Grim, who is an adorable, I was going to say adorable little shit, but he eats everything. Eats everything. And so she was on her way home from a lovely beach vacation with her family and asked, we are not going to be home for like 3 hours. Can you just go let him out to go potty? And I was like, of course. So I go over there and she's like, make sure you pick him up and carry him so he doesn't like pee along the way in case he's really got to go.
Right.
So I get there and he's like howling, like making husky noises, but we're not saying that. His husky side was definitely not coming out. And I carry him downstairs outside and I'm recording just so I can show Meg like what's going on. And so like I set him down and I'm recording and he starts running and as he runs away from me, I'm like, is that a string hanging out of his butt? And so I quickly stop recording because I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Like 6 inches out of his butt.
6 inches. And
6 inches.
All of a sudden, he starts dragging his butt along the grass.
God,
and
that
I'm
poor
like,
sweet baby.
And I'm like, I look and I'm like, I like grab him. I'm like, no, that's a fucking string. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? So I FaceTime Meg. And so she answers and I'm like, everything's fine. Because both you and your husband are like, you're like, what's wrong? You guys. And I was like, everything's fine.
And I knew in your voice you were a lying sack of crap.
But it was fine. No one was dead. It was,
I was worried you were going to say it was a worm. That's where my brain was going like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
As we're on the phone, he starts to shit. And then he relieves himself of like a knitted blanket that he had eaten that was on top of his kennel, and it's like a huge chunk of the knitted blanket with the strings that were hanging out of his butt.
Right out of his butthole.
Right out of his butthole. And I said to her, I was willing to grab it and pull it if I had to. I was like, that would have
really put a damper on things.
It really would have. It really would have been, it wasn't my choice, but I would do it for you and for him. But luckily he expelled it himself, and then he proceeded to do what yesterday?
Oh, my God. So I'm up in Seattle my friend and I went in to see Chasing Abbey, which was wonderful. They're a Celtic band. And Doug's out with the other girls at gymnastics, and my oldest was home, and she calls me, and I'm like, great, what's wrong? She goes, Mom, something's up with Grim's stomach. And I'm like, I'm sure he's fine, blah, blah, blah. So Doug gets home. He goes, no, he's awful bloated. Well, it turns out he ate 3.5 cups of cat food. I get home. The damn dog looks pregnant. And the fart's coming out of his butt.
Not good.
And he sleeps with my oldest, and I'm like, well, that's going to be fun. She got gassed out of her room. He's fine.
Rough.
He's fine.
But I said it cleared out the system. Make sure there's no more blanket left.
It reminds me of that show, This Guy is High as a Kite. He's Australian, and he's in the back of an ambulance, and he like ate 4 whole pizzas. And the EMT is like, you're going to be fine. And the guy's like super high. He's like, no, you got to give me mouth to mouth and suck it out. The EMT is like, I'm not going to do that. It's going to pass just like it would any other thing.
Oh, my God.
But that's what it reminded me.
Yeah. I was just like, your poor daughter is really getting a test of what motherhood is by like, dealing with that.
She had to get him up in the middle of the night to go shit outside. And then I got up early to grab him. And then he proceeded to shit 4 more times.
Yeah, but he cleared him.
He was
making
fine.
sure there's no blockages.
There's no
because
blockages.
Obviously, I was worried about that after. I was like,
me too.
Because it's like, because the blanket on top had gotten ripped. He had gotten into it pretty good.
And there is no more blanket on top of his kennel, you guys.
Well, and because if it was a fleece blanket, it would have been fine. It was because it was a knitted one. Yeah, and so that was so I made sure I removed it when I put him back, and I felt bad because he was just like, why are you leaving me? I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. I let him play. Anyways.
He's really getting on my... But it's a puppy. We love puppies, right?
He's so cute. He's so naughty. He's so naughty. I was over there, and he's like just getting into all kinds of mischief, and Meg's like every 2 seconds like, Grim, stop, Grim. And I was like, yeah, it's just funny.
He's going to be fine. Because Sage, our older dog, is like the easiest thing on the planet.
Oh, yeah. She's so chill.
She's so chill. She's so easy. I say, go to bed. She goes to her kennel.
Yeah,
and I'm like, he'll get there. He is only 4 months old.
He's just a baby.
He's just a little baby.
He's just a baby who eats everything.
Yes, he had his last shot. That's probably why he was feeling a little off last night, too. I mean, the 3.5 cups of cat food, but he also had his last round of shots.
That'll do it.
So
Puppy tails, man. Puppy tails.
Oh, man, y'all.
Right.
Remind me why I did this. He is so cute.
Because he's so cute. He's so cute. He's worth it. But
Oh.
just also hilarious. All right. You want a joke?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why does it take 1 million sperm to fertilize one egg?
I know we're going to say something about men, but go ahead.
Yeah, because they won't stop to ask for directions. Mr. Boo Boo, my husband actually sent me that one.
There you
so,
go.
You know.
There you go.
All right.
You know. Well, hello and welcome to Lunatic Soup, the podcast where we go into all things wild, weird, and unknown. We're your hosts, Meg.
And I'm Raina, ready to brew up some lunatic soup.
Let's go. What a freaking last couple weeks. That was a really weird noise I made with my mouth.
We missed last week. We had gone up to Orcas Island to visit my daughters with your daughter.
Yep,
and
which is amazing. You probably saw some pictures online.
And before that was your daughter's birthday. And then you left out of town right after we got back.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time we literally
it's like, oh shit.
We were like, we don't have an episode this week. And she was out of town. We were like, well, it's not happening.
Yeah. It is what it is.
So sorry I missed last week, guys.
It is what it is.
What it is.
That's why they give us the big bucks.
Life. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so today we are going to be drinking. My lovely sister Shannon kindly gave us one of the ciders that she brought back from Canada that are like our favorites. You know, we had on here the peach and pear, but this one it's the growers, and this is the blackberry. It is a very sweet blackberry, but we're gonna sour slut it, put some lime in it. But I just feel like you have to taste it because it has zero funk compared to like the blackberries that we know.
Zero funk. Okay.
You know how the to me blackberries are some of the funkiest.
Yes, they are. A Canadian delicacy right here.
And so we're splitting one, so we're going to have to find something else after, I assume. And if I don't have to go get my daughter from gymnastics camp and my husband can, I'm making you a gin drink with that new gin I got.
Oh, lucky
I mean, if you'll let me.
If you must.
Okay, so try it without the slut first, and then.
Ooh, it smells. It smells like a drink we had as kids.
It tastes like the clearly Canadians that I'm obsessed with. That's what it tastes like. Zero alcohol.
Whoa.
Is that not the most delicious? Like, imagine
alcohol in that?
Yes, 5%.
Guys, that doesn't taste like anything at all.
Any alcohol that we drink here has a funk to it. It either has like the seltzer funk or
it's that like fermented funk, but like
that you know it's alcohol. And this does not taste like.
No, this tastes like a Canadian Clearly, like a
juice.
sweetened Canadian Clearly, but it's a Canadian Clearly.
It tastes like I would just.
It tastes like something you should mix with the vodka.
When you're hungover, you just drink one of these, and all of a sudden you feel 100% because it doesn't tase like alcohol.
That's called the hair of the dog, right? Why is it called that?
I don't know, but I did just hear someone talking about why it actually works. And
because it raises your blood alcohol level as you're depleted. No?
It's because it re-releases this thing in your brain and like this something, and it
GABA something or other
makes your hangover stop. Like obviously, when you get re-drunk, then you just forget you're hungover, so it's fine. But it does release something in your brain. Is like what it actually does. So, anyways,
I've actually seen things about that where you can take supplements. I don't know if they work. But you take supplements and then like
if you want more,
it helps with the hangover because it does the same thing.
I've heard of that too. I know there's one brand of hangover things that I really want to try. I found it somewhere.
I need more lime.
I think I'm good. It is isn't that delicious though? Because it's
really good, you guys.
It like when you're out on a fishing boat and you just
like on a hot day.
It was the best. I literally drank these like nonstop while we were up there. These and the peach and the pear.
Ooh, that is.
I want to know why theirs are so good.
Right, like it's Canadian.
Canadian.
They do everything well.
They do. It must be it.
My daughter was at a thing, and there was a leadership person there, and he was talking, like she asking her questions. Where are you doing? And she's looking at colleges in Canada, and he did not like that.
Why?
Because it's Canada. It's not the U.S. of A. And then this other student was talking about like where she wants to go to school. And he goes, well, what about Louisiana? She said, well, I'd like to be near the ocean. And he goes, well, you've got the Gulf of America. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, that makes
there
more
she
sense.
is.
There she is. Okay, there it is. There she blows. I'm like, what's wrong with
I've
going
never actually heard somebody say it in the wild.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
The Gulf of America?
I think I'd just be like so dumbfounded. I'd be like, anyways.
To each their own.
To each their own.
I mean, you have to try to say the Gulf of America. Yeah. Like, because it's been the Gulf of Mexico for, like, centuries.
I can't... ready for life to resume some sort of normalcy. I don't know.
I don't know.
When are the aliens going to start showing up? That's what I'm waiting for.
Needs to fix it. Whatever.
Yeah, someone fix
it.
Jesus Christ. I've already gone through my champagne I was going to pop when it happens, so I got to get a new bottle. Just, stand by.
Got to have it in the fridge.
Otherwise, I'm going to be running out to the grocery store.
Right?
Like, door dashing it immediately.
You and everybody else.
I know.
Is it the VOOV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, desperate times call for desperate measures.
And when you need VOOV, you need VOOV.
Sometimes you just got to drink it.
Good for you guys.
That's the problem.
So good. All right, so today we were talking about one that you have wanted to talk about for a very long time.
I know.
And I started thinking about, this is it's researched, but I did skim a little because I figured we know enough about it. We're going to talk about it.
I don't know that I actually know a ton about it. I just have seen social media things about it.
Okay.
So we'll see what I come up with.
But this is kind of a last minute one because I'm like, I want to talk about this.
Yeah, which is fun. I love the fun, let's talk about these things are what excites me.
What I have on tap is the Illuminati, and that might be a two-parter.
That's a two-parter for sure. We need to be ready.
I had a couple others, but they just weren't sitting right with me.
No, this is when you told me what you were saying. I was like, oh hell yeah.
Today we are going to talk about giants.
Dun dun dun
dun dun dun. So there's a lot of information out there, quote unquote information about giants, what they are, where they came from, were they always here, are they from another dimension, are they biblical, are they whatever. And there are records, can you say? Records talk of giants or giant-like beings, humanoids, for centuries. I mean, the Epic of Gilgamesh, which we've talked about before, that had the zombies in it, the revenants in it. That talked about zombies. It's in the Bible.
Giants,
it's like giants everywhere.
I mean, it's in all ancient lore and legend.
And it's probably because of social media, but things have been popping up lately because of the giants, especially. And I don't feel like it's much as right now, but in the last several years, there's been a lot about giants. So in the Bible... It's called... Oh, she's fixing my mic, you guys.
It just keeps going red.
I'm talking too loud. That's never me.
Well, it's not normally, but I want it there. But
is that better?
Yeah, it was also blowing out one of my eardrums, so... I was like, this is too loud.
Fair enough. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Check,
as long as it's not going all the way... Like, you can see this thing. You see it?
Oh, I see. I couldn't see it.
No, see?
That?
Yes, you keep going red. Do you see? So do we need to pull you back even further?
No,
it's every time you talk...
Too much.
Well, almost. I'm like watching it. I'm like, ooh, you're gonna blow out everyone's ears.
All right. So in the Bible, we have a word called the Nephilim, and I'm sure everybody has heard it by now. If you're in this world, you hear it. And the Hebrew root of the word means to fall. So some interpretations of the Nephilim are the fallen ones, those who have fallen, or those who cause others to fall. Now, it is important that we say that the Bible never explicitly defines what the Nephilim is, but there's a lot of stories surrounding it.
Okay.
So there's some that say that it is like the fallen angels came down and mated with women.
Okay.
And that offspring are the Nephilim. Obviously, it's the woman's fault.
Obviously.
We
know this.
So a lot of what people think they know about the Nephilim comes from later Jewish traditions, like the book of Enoch and Genesis, and they kind of talk about the Nephilim, and they talk about the fallen angels. They talk about how they were of great stature. It doesn't actually say giant, but you can kind of infer with what they say. Then in Genesis, there's a passage immediately before the flood that said the sons of God, quote, sons of God, took wives from the daughters of men, and that's where the Nephilim came from. So it doesn't talk about fallen angels. It just says angels took up wives of men.
Okay.
And created the Nephilim.
Okay.
And it was very common belief that the Nephilim existed in those days. And sometimes they were called the heroes of old or men of the renowned. So, sons of God, were they angels? Were they demons? Because the fallen angels are supposed to be, how we talked about the hosts of heaven, and a third went and followed Satan and became demons.
Yep.
Could that be demons?
Possibly. I feel like that makes sense.
And was it giants metaphorically or literally or both?
Well, who's the giant in the Bible? What?
Goliath.
Goliath. Yeah, David and Goliath. Yeah.
But he was supposed to be just a huge man, right?
Yeah, I guess. I'm just saying, it's still in there.
I wasn't there.
Me either.
Something about that drink tastes so familiar.
Does it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It just tastes like heaven.
It really does.
It's just refreshing and delicious.
It is refreshing. I feel like we should be sitting on a beach somewhere.
We should be.
Or on the redneck.
Yeah, we should be on the redneck. That's what we should be doing.
Mm-hmm. So in the book of Enoch, a group of rebellious angels called the Watchers came down to earth. They violated divine boundaries by taking human wives. And they taught forbidden knowledge to humanity.
Okay.
So this is like where they were teaching like right from wrong. They were teaching like stuff of the stars and mapping and stuff like that. And this says that their offspring became giant and destructive beings known as the Nephilim. The Watchers are said to corrupt humanity, and the Nephilim spread violence and chaos. And it said that their actions actually contributed to the world's moral collapse before the flood. And it's because of them that that God sent the flood.
Wow. Okay.
So there's that.
Why? Because they were studying the stars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's that spooky witchy stuff.
Yeah, by like studying just like stars that are like there that allegedly God
and free
made.
will.
Yeah,
free
weird.
will.
It's so weird.
Such
Such a weird take to like turn something like the like stars evil.
Right.
Like the universe
because
that
like,
God created, but like
things.
if you believe that God created everything, wouldn't you believe that then he created literally everything? Everything. So if that is your belief, like
then he created the evil too.
And then he did. And then but so why are
But then we're going to punish you for the evil.
Horrible to like watch what the stars do and associate it with different
or
things.
on that vein, use plants as healing. Or
it's just insane to me. It's just wild. It's like such a like how like the lack of logical thinking is what I think always bothers me. That like you just take it. Oh well, but God said it, so you know.
My FYP has been blowing up with this shit lately.
Is it the Black Witch?
Yes!
I've almost sent her to
too?
you. Oh my God, I've watched every time I see her. It's
where she's like in a debate
with all Christians, and she like
wonderful.
She was
like
raised,
I want to be friends with her.
She was raised evangelical Christian, so she has a really good like, you know, understanding of everything. And that she just when the things that she says, she's so knowledgeable. She
doesn't falter.
And she like it. She has an answer to everything and like a
and can back herself up.
And can back herself up, which none of them can do.
Yeah, I also follow. Her name's Monty. You've recognized her. She has long, beautiful fingernails. She has reddish hair. She was an evangelical Christian and kind of left it. Not kind of. She did. She left it, and she knows the Bible inside and out. And she kind of does a very similar thing.
Yeah,
and so. A lot of theologians kind of reject this angelic interpretation, this interpretation that they came from gods. And they say that the sons of gods were actually descendants of Seth, and the daughters of men, obviously, are the descendants of Cain, because we are evil.
Yes.
Right? And so the Nephilim resulted from intermingling between the righteous line, the sons, and the corrupted line, which would be ladies.
Us and our whorish selves. We really need to get ourselves under control just out here.
And, you know, like our sons are just out there causing a muck.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who are
No, it's
wrong.
still our
It's
fault.
still us.
It's still
We're
our
just
fault.
so naughty.
Saying to my daughter, she sometimes, my oldest daughter, will just say whatever just to see what happens. And I was like, dude, you can't do that around family. Like, you can't do that around like grandpa or something. And, or around like my aunts and uncles. I'm really worried about her around her dad's family.
Yeah.
But she goes, what happens if I just said this, and this around your aunt? And my husband goes, it'll be your mom's fault. I'm like, yes!
Honestly.
That is accurate.
Yeah,
your sins
your
are
sins.
mine.
It's you. It's all you. Oh, God.
A story of my life.
Yeah, it's all of our lives.
So this is like theologians probably prefer this because then it avoids angels physically reproducing with humans, because that kind of puts a damper on things. If angels are like these, you know, and angelic obviously, but like otherworldly things that can mate with humans, that kind of adds too much to the storyline. There's too much to interpret there. So this story kind of treats it as humans were disobedient and created the Nephilim, which are the giants. And so giants typically tend to be destructive and evil and all the bad things. Some scholars suggest that the Nephilim were powerful rulers, like tyrants, kings, warriors, and heroes, legendary heroes like, I don't know, Hercules.
I was about to say
Hercules.
Set each other off. What did my husband say to you that set you off the other day? I can't remember, but he said something and you were like, God damn it, Tex. Like we were up at camp or doing something and he said something and it just got you going.
He knows.
He does know.
There's some cultures that say that they are semi-divine heroes, again, like Hercules. So powerful rulers with a divine ancestry. And Genesis kind of hints to this and kind of hints more to describing that than literal giants, but we've kind of interpreted them to mean giants. So the strongest connection to the Nephilim being giants is Numbers 13. Numbers is a book in the Bible.
Got it.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy,
geez,
Joshua,
I didn't know that.
Nehemiah, and Ezra. That's as far as I can go.
Good for you.
I remember the song. So the Israelite spies report seeing descendants of the Nephilim in Canaan, and the spies describe themselves as appearing like grasshoppers compared to these people.
Wow.
So they could have been seeing another race of humans and just described they were giants. So they described them as that. Like there are certain cultures that are shorter people, not cultures, but like people, races that are shorter and smaller, and some that are a lot taller, and it's just the whole, like their whole society is that way.
It's like how when people like see a tall woman, they're like, she's an Amazonian woman, like a tall, very tall, like, Oh,
I wish if I had that build. Oof.
I don't want to be tall.
You don't want to be tall?
I'm happy.
No?
5'5", I'm good.
I'm 5'7".
Yeah, I have no desire to be any taller. I feel like that's just inconvenient in life. You know?
Who's that, she was in the Wednesday. She's like she would be described as an Amazonian woman. She's like 6'3" or something like that.
That's like Jenna's my best friend. She's 6 foot. Like, she's tall. And I think I like nothing against it. I just feel like finding clothes that are long enough, finding a man. A man. If you care about that. Some people like shorter men.
I would never. No.
I
mean, you do you, boo, but I want to be
little
shorter.
Yeah.
Sorry, we were ogling the dog and cat.
I have no children home,
They're
and so my dog Jandis and my cat Poppy are in here, like because I left the garage door open so they could come lay down.
They're literally snuggling together.
Which watch Jandis will get mad at her in a minute. She doesn't like to snuggle with her.
Jandis's tail is down.
Oh. Look, she moved herself. She's like, but Poppy just
Jandis
wants to
moved
so
and Poppy
bad.
like scooted.
She's so getting cute. So fat. Poppy, not Jandis. Jandis went on a diet.
A Biblical Archaeology Society article discussed how the Nephilim are often linked to a group called the Rephaim, and this is a group associated with giants, and they say that giants are dead ancestral figures that were elevated to this godlike state in the next life. So this puts them as, I don't know if you want to call that supernatural beings. If you like ghosts are supernatural beings, and so these are the dead, and they have been kind of given this status of the Nephilim. So we have a couple of examples. We have Og, Anakim, and Goliath. All of those are examples in biblical or historical contexts or mythology where these are allegedly real people who are giants. And they're usually defeated by Israel or Israel's champions, and so that narrative kind of puts it into that hero, you know what I mean? So like I was saying before, that there are some people that think that the Nephilim caused the flood because the giant hybrids, the human and angel or human or whatever, it's our fault. It's women's fault.
It's always
those
our fault.
hybrids corrupted the earth so much that God caused the flood.
Damn.
Even though, with that vein, God allowed them to be able to reproduce with humans, which created the Nephilim.
There's a lot of contradictions. I'm just saying, a lot of it doesn't make sense, but in my head. But that's just me, maybe.
So, but there's also contradictions in that because Genesis does not explicitly condemn the Nephilim. In Genesis 6:4, it describes them positively as heroes and men of the renown. So, like, which way?
Yeah.
Which way does it go? But this is not the only society that has the Nephilim or these giant people. They're found all over society, all throughout history. Sometimes they're heroes born of God, sometimes they're warrior kings, and sometimes they're like primordial beings, like leftover beings that kind of stayed around. But I would argue that that's what it is now. Because the giants that we hear about now are kind of like these leftover ancient beings
that just exist.
Which
that to me is my more like, obviously, that's what I believe. They just were amongst us. Also, could, like, maybe they're not actually aliens, but are they?
Or are they?
Or are they? And are they like what helped us build our pyramids? Are they?
Yeah,
like
I mean, this could connect back to the Orcas Island aliens. The Nordic aliens, because they're supposed to be large in stature. I mean, like tall, not large, but like tall and slender. Yeah. But to some people, that could look like a giant.
Yeah.
But I feel like when we talk about the Nephilim or these biblical giants, we think of like Kronk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like big and gross and burly.
Feet 5 faux fum.
I don't think I've heard much about lady giants.
I've never heard anything about a lady giant.
It's always a man. So it's men did the bad thing and women get blamed.
But wouldn't men want a lady giant? Like, could you imagine those big boobies bouncing around them? They just love that.
And you would break a human woman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There could
because they're reproducing somehow.
Ooh.
Don't think too hard.
I won't. But also, what the? No, yeah, you said it. I can't now stop. Anyways, continue.
So then we have the argument that what if these are real humans and they have giganticism? Because that is a real thing.
Right.
And it is most extreme human height results from this medical condition called giganticism. And it causes excessive growth hormone production. It's like a pituitary gland, like malfunction. And we have record of people being 7-8 feet tall who have this giganticism.
And I think that is something that is there. But I feel like when we talk about giants, even like on social media, whatever, we're not talking about 8 feet tall. We're talking, we're talking like more like 30 feet tall, right?
I would say like 12 to 15 feet tall. I mean, unless you were thinking of like Jack and the Beanstalk type giants.
I guess. I don't know. I don't really know. I just know they're really fucking tall. They're like
really tall.
I guess.
I know other beings that are 12 to 15 feet tall. We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. But the tallest person on record was 8 feet 11 inches. That's pretty goddamn tall.
That's pretty tall. Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine an almost 9-foot human standing in front of us?
No. One of my friends, her husband is 6'10", I think.
He's freaking tall.
And he's tall.
Yeah.
Like literally
one of the tallest humans I've ever met.
I did a video on TikTok a while ago, and it was my husband took the video of me, and it's from his perspective, like looking down on me, and I like saw it, and then he kept recording me, and I was like, this is how you see me, because it's such a weird perspective to like look down. And my friend's husband commented, and he goes, yeah, this is how I feel when I look at Tex. But he is so much taller than him. He's a tall dude. I was like, that's a good one. That's true.
Ooh. But we're not just talking tall here. Like when we think about a giant, everything is big.
Well, because when you see the people with giganticism, they are like, a lot of times I've seen, like, they can be gangly.
Very,
like, yeah. There's a few that aren't, but like they're tall.
I mean, you have Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's more proportion but big, but then, I don't know. Different. I don't know.
But even Andre the Giant is not like a giant. I mean, he
is. He's big, but he's not that big.
But he's not that big. I mean, he's pretty big.
He's not somebody that I would look at and be like, oh, this is where the story of giants came from.
No, But when you're talking about ancient times and people who are spying on other civilizations,
1000%.
And we defeated them.
Right.
We defeated
if there were
the
a bunch of them at the time, like, and everyone had giganticism, like, like in this one town, this one thing, and then now they're all gone, and that's an option.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So that's kind of like a very brief history of where giants come from, where the Nephilim comes from. So we have religion, we have mythology, we have archaeology, we have conspiracy theories, we have ancient like mysteries, and we have some supernatural speculation. This kind of checks every box
literally
of things that we talk about.
Yeah.
Now, there are claims that we have found giant skeletons, which I've seen those. Watch Ancient Aliens, which is my favorite Sunday morning show.
Yeah.
And they talk about how there's been stuff found that could it be linked to aliens? Because it is so different than human.
Right.
But still humanoid.
Right.
So it could be. I think of not flat Earth. What is it?
That's where my head goes right away. Antarctica.
The Antarctica stuff when you go beyond the ice wall.
Yeah.
That's what I think of. Like, are they from...
No, it wasn't Pangea. No. Ugh. It's going to drive me nuts. I know, we just talked about it.
Yeah.
My brain.
But where there's the ice wall, and then beyond the ice wall, there's all these
like the land of giants, the land of this.
Land of giants, land of Bigfoot, the ones that are just a torso with their eyeballs on their chest.
That's a little weird.
Dragons.
It reminds me. Yeah, dragons.
Leprechauns.
Mm-hmm.
The fairies.
Fairies are still here.
At the Celtic concert I went to last night, they had they talked about fairies in Ireland and how the fairies are to be respected.
Yeah.
They are not the fun little things that, we have here. And they talked about kind of how the history of Halloween started over there.
Oh, fun.
And where, you had to trick the fairies, and now it turned into Halloween because you would, put masks on to confuse the fairies. And then they put these, stag masks on and did a song. It was really cool.
That is really cool. That's fun.
Cool. I mean, up until the homeless person came over and tried twerking on my favorite kindergarten teacher and I.
And then also, didn't you see a homeless person relieving himself?
Yeah, we were gonna go one way, and then he just popped a squat and
not pee, guys.
No.
No.
So we rerouted.
Mm-hmm.
We went back and around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Seattle is a special place.
I will say,
it's better than it used to be.
I was going to say, I was just in Seattle with a friend from college, and they were just raving about how nice it was and how there's
Don't
never
go down
any
to
homeless
Pioneer
people.
Square.
And I was like, nah, it's because they got rid of them all for the World Cup.
Yeah.
They did something with them. Don't know where they went.
Well, they're back.
Yeah. Well,
they're back.
And he was here right when it had just finished. So,
yeah.
It makes sense.
Uh-huh.
All right, I had to get us. We are doing a second cider. Well, that one was just one that we split in half.
Yeah, we're just splitting them today. This is the same brand.
The pear. It's delicious.
It's just so
It's so good.
Good. Okay, so giants are found in nearly every civilization. Ancient Near East, we have the Nephilim, the Rephaim, the Anakim, not Anakin Skywalker. No, that is a different story. Og of Bashan, Goliath, and Gibberum, which is also known as the Mighty Ones. And those are more all biblical.
Mm-hmm.
In Greek mythology, you have the Titans, the Cyclops, giants portrayed as primordial beings who challenge divine authority. They're always kind of bad.
Yeah, they're not good. There's not a good connotation with them.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder, too, that, they tell us that they're bad. Does that mean they're actually good?
I wonder that, too, because, I've said this before. As a kid, I always felt bad for Satan because I felt like he was a scapegoat.
I mean, but doesn't he,
and then I thought I was going to go to hell.
Carrying out the punishment of, what?
Oh, speaking of Satan, I got a book for you to read. It's not Satan, it's death. Crown Me Dead. It's a 2 books. Crown Me Dead and Crown Me something. That's the books that I read when we were at the beach. So freaking good.
Okay, I'm in.
So freaking good.
I just finished a book today that I told you I was reading it. It was
and wasn't.
It finished, and everyone had said, "Oh, it changed my life. It was the best book I ever read." It was I sobbed, and I was like,
"Oh, I sobbed in the."
I was like, "When did you sob?" What? I was like, "What?" Oh. There was nothing in it that
What book was it?
It's called The Red Tent.
Oh,
it was good. It was good.
Okay.
It was okay, but it was I was ready for this earth-shattering story and something that would change my life. Literally nothing about it changed my life. Just one of the main characters' name was Leia, which is my child's name, so it was just fucking weird. Because then they would talk about things, and I'm like, that's my kid. Don't say that. That's
that.
Weird.
No, but you need to read Crown Me Dead. It's 2 books. I forget what the second one's called. I did sob with that one.
I'm in. I trust you.
I mean, and Carrie told me about it.
Yeah,
and so
she and I have the same book taste. So.
So yes. So and then there's the Gigantomachy. That's a weird word, which depicts a war between giants and Olympian gods. So it's very us versus them, good versus evil. Yeah. That's kind of the vibe. In Norse. I've had half a cider, you guys. This is just me being tongue twisted.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
I don't know.
Today, Junior. Jesus. Help me. Oh my God.
You have the Norse mythology. You have the Jotnar, which is giants, frost giants, Ymir, which is the primordial giant whose body became the world. Celtic traditions, you have Fionn mac Cumhaill.
Stop it.
Idiot. What? Giants Causeway legend. Giants credited with shaping the landscape. In Native American tradition, you have giant cannibals. Terrifying.
That is terrifying.
Or like little chicken wings.
Well, because, they would just eat you. Isn't that kind of like fee-fi-fo-fum? Doesn't he just eat the people?
Yeah. All I think of, whenever I see the little mozzarella balls, I think of the James and the... No, not James and the Giant Peach. Jack and the Beanstalk, but the Disney one where like Donald Duck and Mickey go up.
Oh,
and it's fee-fi-fo-fum. But then Donald Duck is like hiding on the table, and he's a little mozzarella ball. His butt's a little mozzarella ball.
Oh my God, I forgot
and
about that.
That's
so
about
funny.
that every time I eat mozzarella.
Accurate. Yeah, well, same.
Isn't that funny how these things as a kid that just stay.
Stick in your head.
They just stay.
That's funny.
Native American tradition also has wild giant beings, ancient races of oversized humans, and wilderness creatures larger than normal humans.
Which that... we know that there used to be things like a giant sloth. That is...
Yeah.
Prove it.
Things were...
It's just... It makes me feel like they are hiding it from us for a reason, but like, what is the reason?
Unless it is...
It's like that
biblical.
Or that
Not
they're...
biblical, but you know what I mean.
What do you mean? No.
Like important for morality.
Well, for morality, or they are beings that could assist us in life in a positive way for us not being under the thumb of... Do you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
It's why, like, it just reminds me of this. I just watched a video of a kid with cerebral palsy in with dolphins, and they are saying that, like, dolphins, echo, whatever, can actually, like, help heal, like, the cells in their body for, like, big, it's like a
sound
therapy
frequencies.
Thing. Yeah, and it's just, but, you're not allowed to interact with dolphins in the wild. You're not allowed to
talk with them.
And it's like one of those things.
Gerald.
It just makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, like,
why are they keeping things so hidden?
Yeah, like that could actually be beneficial to us, but we know that because then if they help us, then they can't have all of our monies, and then in control and power and blah 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 blah. Anyways,
so a lot of people think that throughout history, giant skeletons were being found. Some say that maybe those are mammoth bones, mastodon bones, or prehistoric fossils, which I could see that. But then when we talked about the moon-eyed people, remember they found giant bones in the mountains in Utah with the red hair?
Yep.
So there are like historical records of giant bones being found. Now, giant as in it's a human and they're just much larger humans. We do know there are like Native American tribes who the average height was well over 6 feet tall.
Oh, yeah.
Just like we have civilizations like, what was it, Indonesia, where they're very short in stature. That's just
how it
humans.
is. Yeah.
St. Augustine described finding an enormous tooth and interpreted that as belonging to a giant.
Okay.
The medieval belief is that giants inhabited the earth before humans, and megalithic structures were built by the giants, which were the unusual rock formations, think Stonehenge.
Yes.
Things like that, which, if you think about Stonehenge, if you think about the pyramids,
right,
all of these different things, it would make more sense if there were these giant beings.
And not just like humans figuring out how to...
And then forgetting all of the information and knowledge.
Yeah, and then us not knowing how they put them together. It's very weird.
And that kind of, to me, leads me back to aliens. Could we be talking about one and the same?
I have an example of that whenever we get around to whatever that is.
The 19th century saw a huge public interest in giant skeleton discoveries. Newspapers frequently reported giant bones, burial sites, mummies, and skeletons in Native American mounds, like the one out in Utah. Some say that this was misidentified or exaggerated, but it still was making the rounds.
Yeah.
One of the most famous hoaxes in American history was the giant stone man that was supposedly discovered in a burial ground. So that once things start getting, and same thing happens on social media.
Oh, yeah.
But this was just in the 19th century, so it was through the papers.
Yep.
Hoaxes started popping up.
Yeah.
And that really sullies the water because then the truth is buried with myth and hoax, which... That's where conspiracy theories come from, because there's a little bit of truth there, but then guess who ruins it? People.
We do. Well, but we're not saying...
It's the woman's fault.
It's always our fault.
One of the most persistent giant theories claims that the
That was a good one.
The Smithsonian found giant skeletons and thousands of giant bones were displayed. But then the government came in and stopped. It's like, you can't do that. You cannot have that.
For what reason?
For what reason? And that's a lot of that is when, that's a hoax. The Smithsonian.
I feel like someone has turned the word hoax into a hoax because anytime he says it's hoax, it means it's fact. Do you know what I'm saying?
Fake news.
Everything. He says it's a hoax. Oh, it's a hoax. It's a hoax. No, you're a fucking hoax.
So not one scientific body acknowledges giants. They acknowledge giganticism in humans, but they don't acknowledge giants. And so when there is evidence found, they don't really have much to say about it. Now, modern, belief, but this also goes back to ancient Native American, and it's in belief all over the world, there's a giant being that is around 10 feet tall, covered in hair, massive build, human-like appearance, extraordinary strength, bipedal movement. Who is it, Reiner?
This will be the Sasquatch.
This will be the Sasquatch.
Mr. Bigfoot himself.
Mr. Bigfoot's. And so that kind of brings in that more paranormal element to it.
Right.
And that kind of removes the human from it, which removes the biblical part of it all. And it wasn't my fault, y'all. But what do you think about that?
I mean, I think that that's definitely a possibility, but I think that they're both things. I think they both exist.
You think they both exist? So you think that Bigfoot or Sasquatch is different from the Nephilim or giants?
Absolutely, yes.
But what if they were from the same
lineage
area? We believe that Bigfoot is an interdimensional being.
1,000%.
Could giants be
absolutely?
The same?
Oh, that's what I think. 1,000%.
Because they kind of come from. Obviously, where we live, Bigfoot is a lot more common. Commonly talked about. We got Bigfoot stuff everywhere. We don't have a lot of giant stuff.
No, there's
here.
not giant stuff anywhere.
But could it be the same?
Absolutely could be the same. There is. What are you getting into next before I go with what I'm going to say? Where are we at?
Just modern encounters.
Okay, well, you might have this one covered because there's this guy that was on TikTok that allegedly, he recorded a giant, a whole thing, and then he supposedly just went missing, and no one ever heard from him again.
Really?
And I want to look at it because it was such
See if you can find it.
Yeah, I will.
So the Bigfoot Field Research Organization, which is it independently records Sasquatch sightings and stuff like that, they also kind of loop in with giants.
Okay.
So they are very aware of the giant lore, the giant legends and history. And when I say giants and Nephilim, I'm kind of using that interchangeably. It's just because the Nephilim is where the record is.
Right.
That
makes
being
sense. Yeah.
is where the record is. And then we just call them giants because they're big. That's what we do.
Yep.
So there have been some giant encounters in modern day. They all kind of have the same thing. They're not quite as big as what you were saying, but I do know what you're talking about. You see him walking up the side of the mountain or whatever.
Yes, like this guy. This is it.
So, I've seen this.
Yeah.
So this is Andrew Dawson, and he was, it looks like he's in the, Southwest, maybe?
No. I want to say he was...
There's a mountain with not a
lot
of...
he's in British Columbia. Yeah, I was going to say Alaska, but he's British Columbia.
Oh, there's no trees.
And, because he's on the very top of a mountain, it was snow.
Oh, it was snow.
If you look at it.
I do remember when this happened. Oh, yes. And so there's this...
That's a big-ass fucking...
It's at the top of a mountain.
And he's zooming in from very, very far away, and
it's moving.
You can see it.
And it's moving, walking on two legs. It's moving up the mountain. So was this a whole series that he did?
Well, yeah, and then he just disappeared. He literally just disappeared. He died.
Oh, he died.
He died.
How did he die?
I don't remember. Hang on, I just want to see.
But that goes back to the people that are the scientists working for the government that have the 20-something scientists that have all gone missing or died.
It's called the Black Budget Projects in our military, basically talking about how they will take out people who are
getting close to something.
Yeah.
But then why didn't they wipe out his social media stuff? Or have they not corrupted, but have they put forth it's a conspiracy, you're a quack, you're this, you're that.
Yeah.
Have they downplayed people enough to where no one's going to believe them
But
anyway.
that's what we know that because that's what they've literally come out and said they did. There's also another one of a guy. This is in Oregon.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Yeah, and this one.
So it's the side of a mountain, and it literally looks like there's a door into the mountain.
Yeah, and he claimed he saw something, and then I don't know. I don't remember what happened with this guy, but anyways, there's a few on social media.
Which,
yeah, I know.
Social media, you can
grain
do
of
anything.
Salt, literally, we know.
Grain of salt, you can literally do anything. Like there's this guy that I followed for a little while who had videos of mermaids, and you can like hear them, right? And then you find out later, oh, that's just a part of the ship that he's making it look like
a mermaid.
They're mermaids.
Yeah, it's like when I pour vodka into my drink. Sometimes it's just water. But it's true because I don't drink every fucking day. I die.
You would die.
I don't.
You would die.
It's a waste of vodka.
It's a waste of vodka.
And so sometimes I don't put alcohol in it. I know it works. I'm giving you the recipe. Just sometimes
it's not that she hasn't done it before.
No, plenty of times. It's just sometimes just for the video. It doesn't. If I make a reaction, it's always the real thing because I don't fake that part. But
the winky eye.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Glass eye.
My glass eye just comes out.
Yeah,
totally.
So with all of these sightings, a lot of things are very similar throughout the world. They're like 10 to 12 feet tall, towering above their vehicle or above like the brush. They can reach up into trees. So not like gigantic, like 30 feet tall, but big. They have human faces, broad shoulders, human eyes, and human-like hands. They say that people who have witnessed them feel an overwhelming fear, paralysis, and a sense of the being highly intelligent. That, to me, goes more into the paranormal, the UFO realm.
100%.
That feeling of dread.
Do you remember when that alien thing happened at that mall in Miami?
That could be giants.
Well, they were saying they were huge. They were saying they were like 15, 20 feet tall.
So with that goes more into aliens.
Which that's where mine goes less to the Bigfoot, more towards alien realm.
Bigfoot could be an alien.
Well, it could be, and that's like, it's all tied together in my professional opinion, but you know.
So in our world, giants represent chaos, like bad things, power, ancient beings, and the unknown. Could that be just humans putting that into a being?
1,000%.
All these things that we have no proof. We think we find proof, but it could be,
the Smithsonian put it out, and then it was a hoax. Shut the fuck up.
From the Smithsonian.
Shut the fuck up. I actually trust the Smithsonian.
I do too.
Well, did.
Maybe they were just exaggerated, really tall people. That could, in some circumstances, I could see that being a thing. Or are they lost humans?
Could be.
Could they be?
I mean, there was also the World's Fair, remember?
Yeah.
They said there were giants there. There was like how they helped.
Okay, so there was a couple of Reddit stories about giants. It was actually really hard to find. Because a lot of them you read through and you're like, okay. But there's this one from 11 Rune Lord, and it says, I posted this on another sub, so I figured I'd put it here. Do you believe in giants? I did not until this all happened to me. Back when I was a teenager, there was a girl I snuck out with at night to see just about every night. Neither of our families liked the other, so it was the only way we could see each other. Irrelevant. Anyways, we generally met in a parking lot that was about halfway between our houses. The night we met up and hung out for a while, it started to get really foggy. The fog was coming in from her way, and it was very thick that you could not see through it. This is something that happens. I was just at the beach. This happened literally in 10 minutes. This can happen.
It rolls in.
So we walked back to my house and got in my mom's car. On the road to my house, there was a church, and it had tall streetlights. We looked back and saw a shadow cross the light, but it was so foggy that we could not tell what it was. Whatever it was big. Tall, very tall. Tall, very tall too. That's how you say that,
Okay.
As tall as the street light, I think is what he's trying to say. So 30 feet in the air. I don't think a street light is 30 feet in the air, but
I have no idea.
He's saying it was as tall as the street light.
Okay. Pretty fucking tall.
We got to my mom's house. We got in my mom's car. We got out of my mom's car because neither of us wanted to risk waking my parents up. A few minutes later, the fog started coming around the curve and started down the hill. I remember wondering how fog could follow a road and not just cover everything as it advanced. In time, it did cover everything up, though, and about that time, the ground started shaking like it was a mild earthquake. The shaking got more intense as the fog got thicker. A couple minutes later, we saw a huge leg pass by the car that we were sitting in, and whatever was attached to it kept walking down the road, covered by fog the whole time. A few minutes later, the shaking stopped, and the fog passed us by, although I could see the tail end of the fog moving into the forest that was at the bottom of the hill on the dead-end road I lived on. We looked at each other, questioning what had just happened to us. Neither of us quite believed our eyes, but being too smart to disregard what we had just experienced. I let her stay in my room that night until the sun started to come up and walked her back home. I do not believe in giants, but I cannot explain this.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that story because it does have that paranormal element, but it also comes with something that we don't really see. Like, you can't explain that as just a really tall person.
No, not at all. Like, and that's, I mean, that to me is like the biggest thing with that alien Miami Mall alien thing, which I do think there were so many people who saw stuff. Like, everyone just made something up in their heads. Everyone did.
And now it's all gone.
Now it's just gone.
They don't talk about it. Nobody talks about it. Nobody has anything to do with it. I truly do think that something happened there. And I truly think that, like, whether it was, like, what we think is a giant or large aliens or whatever, it was something. Oh. And then this other... Yeah, so there's some people in the comments that say that in Alaska and Montana and Idaho, you can see giants that are 22 to 28 feet tall. People know that they're there. They generally live in caves. They live in pairs of twos. They come out when they need this, that, or the other thing. But yeah.
Live in pairs of twos.
Pairs of twos up in the mountains. I mean, but in Alaska, anything can be up there. Same with Montana.
Literally.
Anything can be up there.
There's so much land and so much space. And up in Canada, too. Like, there's, like, parts that are...
Oh, Canada.
Middle of Australia, too.
Oh, I bet there's lots of giants there. Yeah. I did see a story about Australia, but it was kind of a little unbelievable, so I don't
understandable.
Yeah.
You know.
But anyway, that's giants.
Well, shit.
Well,
I still think they're real.
I think they're real. I think there's something to do with them. I don't think they're evil, but I
just think that there's a reason why we're not supposed to know about them and why they're presented to us as evil. That is my, if they're presented as evil, I am more likely to believe that they're not evil.
Yes.
If we're being told that, I'm like...
Being told that or being so like, oh, it's not real.
Yeah.
I don't think fairies are evil, though.
I don't think they're evil. I think they just are...
I don't think they're either.
Yeah, just think that they don't like us and they fucking don't fuck with them.
Don't fuck with them.
Yeah, they know what they like.
I love my fairies, though.
I know. Yeah, you give your wand to your fairies.
They're nice to me.
Yeah, they are. I'll come hang out in your backyard with your fairies, but
Perfect.
I won't talk to them.
Perfect.
I'll let them just be. They exist.
Let me know if you guys have ever had an experience with giants or if you have a theory on giants.
I feel like that's a very rare one to hear about. Yeah. Like you said, that's not something we hear about a lot.
It was hard to get a lot of information. That's why most of it is biblical, because that's literally all the information that we have.
Yeah. But I do think that they're real. There's so many things that have been talked about or like seen or whatever that are or in our history, like
not just social media. That's what I like about this one. It's not just social media.
There's just a lot that I feel like could explain them.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, shit. Well, you guys, why don't you guys make sure you go and get yourself some lunatic soup?
And remember, in this crazy world,
it's good to be a lunatic.
Bye.
Bye.